We've always known about a missing US submarine somewhere in the Gulf of Thailand. I knew instantly what we'd found.
We now have a really good chance of discovering what happened to the submarine.
One of the most dangerous seas in the world because it's so shallow.
All of this water just not deep enough. You couldn't dive.
You were there to sink a ship. You didn't think about home or if you were going to get killed or anything. That did not enter your mind.
The Japanese commander came straight on and got lucky. LAGARTO went down swinging.
Telegram. Wow, all hell broke loose.
He's my grandfather. How do you not care about that?
What rendered the crew unable to escape the sub?
It's a great mystery.
We came alongside, and we both stopped dead in the water.
The seas were calm, and they pulled side by side, bridge to bridge, and they spoke literally 20 feet away, Ben and my dad.
He just said, well, you've been shot up and shook up, and I think I better take the next try.
And my father set out an attack plan, and they did it. And my dad was to attack and sort of chase them into the bayou. And they proceeded to do that, and that's the last anyone saw of the LAGARTO.
1 year earlier, LAGARTO stood draped in patriotic bunting in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. The town, 80 miles north of Milwaukee, had climbed out of the Great Depression by building shipyard cranes to reconstruct Pearl Harbor, landing craft to hit the beaches at Normandy, and 28 submarines for the Navy.
It was a big celebration in the whole community. The banks of the river were lined with people, and including all of the wives and family members of the LAGARTO. And it was like 4th of July celebration. It was wonderful.
The Manitowoc Shipbuilding Company launched its vessels sideways because the river that circled the shipyard near Lake Michigan wasn't wide enough for a more typical stern launch.
This wave went roaring across the river, and it was just way over their heads. It knocked them back. There were people scrabbling around, all soaking wet. There were people laughing.
And then all of a sudden it bobs up like a child's bathtub toy. It was really a spectacular sight.
This is part of the old machine shop.
When the Navy contract hit the front page, more than 500 men applied for jobs. Quickly, the workforce grew to 7,000, including Jerry Pilger, fresh out of high school.
Well, I graduated on a Wednesday. I went to Manitowoc Ship on Friday, applied for a job, and then the following Monday I started to work down at the Manitowoc Shipbuilding Company as a ship fitter helper. Because I knew someday that I was going to be in the service, and I figured that's the place I want to be. I want to see what's going on down here. I think, and not only that, it offered the highest pay, 39 cents an hour.
But before a sub and her crew were considered seaworthy, they practiced diving and other maneuvers in Lake Michigan, often in sub-zero temperatures that froze hatches and anything or anyone not moving. Mike Latta was an 8-year-old tag-along when his father took LAGARTO on her first trials.
You know, I never realized it at the time. Years later, I realized I was the skipper's kid. You know? And I was like this, I turned into this mascot, I think, because no matter where I went, and I had free run of the boat, and invariably, there'd be some big guy grab me by the seat of the pants, whoa, you know, here you go, Mike, you know, patted me in the head, and off I'd go. And these guys, it was never around my dad, or just, they just did that. They just took care of me. You know? It was always calm. There was no shouting. All the orders were very calm, and the response was calm, you know, aye, aye. I thought, you know, damn, it all comes from him. I think I was just kind of, it's the first time I'd seen him at work.
After months of drills, LAGARTO and her 86-man crew headed for war. The morning they left, Commander Latta reassured loved ones personally.
He spoke to each of us individually, and he was just a wonderful man. I admired him greatly. He said, I will bring them back. And we were all confident that he would.
When LAGARTO reached New Orleans, she entered a war zone immediately. German U-boats sank 60 ships in the Gulf of Mexico during the war, including the tanker Virginia at the mouth of the Mississippi River. To relieve worry from relatives, Lagarto's crewmen were encouraged to write letters home often. The letters from Harold Todd, written on onion skin paper, printed with Lagarto's emblem, became heirlooms to Ray Todd, who told her husband just before he left that she was pregnant. Near the shelf, where the shallow Gulf of Thailand meets the South China Sea, the divers followed a weighted line down. Slowly, ghostly spires of Lagarto's periscopes appeared. Further down, Lagarto's bridge, where Commander Latta discussed his battle plans with Baya's skipper Ben Jarvis. Before divers left Lagarto, Nancy Kenny asked Richie Kohler to say a prayer.
Richie had asked me before he went over to Thailand if there's anything he could do.
She had made a request that I do something she can't do, and that I touch the side of her father's tomb and let him know that her mother, and the rest of the family love him and miss him very much, and that everybody's okay.
And he did. That's what he did.
There are no plans to raise Lagarto or retrieve the bodies of her crew. She is a war grave, and according to the Navy, cannot be disturbed.
She's there. She looks beautiful. And it's fitting that we leave her there.
Wreck divers attached an American flag.
And they tied it onto the tip of the conning tower, and it started to billow in the waters like it was blowing in the wind.
So good. That's where they are. That's where they belong. And God bless them.